Y'all, just as we suspected, the federal investigation into Diddy goes way deeper than Diddy alone, because the streets are saying that Diddy's longtime friend Oprah Winfrey is also allegedly being investigated by the feds for her role in Diddy's Free and allegedly helping Diddy procure girls for his pleasure. And if you think that that's not shocking enough, reports are also claiming that the feds are also investigating Oprah for allegedly running a shady ring where she allegedly passes young women out to powerful men, including allegedly Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, and the like. And it looks like the feds are setting Oprah up to get exposed next, because the receipts they piled up are wild. And Oprah has been laying low-key lately. What it looks like the streets aren't about to let her off that easy. The feds just dropped some shocking news, and it's not looking good for her. And if you thought her past drama was messy, this might take the cake, because now her name is being linked to Diddy. But honestly, the way the world is now, it's not wild to hear Oprah and Diddy in the same sentence, because they've been tied for years. And let's be real, if anyone's been wrapped up in more scandal than Diddy, it's got to be Oprah. There's been rumors for ages about pulling strings in Hollywood, working as a handler to keep celebrities in line for the industry's elite. Now Oprah has always been celebrated as a symbol of black excellence. From her media empire to her philanthropy, she's been out here doing big things. She's basically a self-made billionaire after all. But these new allegations could really dent her image because they're messy. But on the outside, Oprah's got the whole perfect black woman thing going on, because she spent years promoting black excellence and all that good stuff on her show. But when you look a little deeper, there's things that start to get a little bit unsettling. Industry insiders are coming forward, and the tea they're spilling about Oprah, woo y'all, it is wild. Even before the feds got involved, though 50 Cent was already out here sounding the alarm, talking about how Oprah's been laying low while skillfully managing to avoid some major scandals. Somehow, despite all this mess, though she's allegedly been tied to, she stayed on top, and for a long time a lot of people had no idea what she was allegedly like behind the scenes. But 50 being 50 decided to try to expose her, but even though he had a lot to say, it still didn't raise enough red flags like it should have. But hey, at least he did say his piece. And if there's one person in Hollywood you don't want on your case, it's 50. He is as relentless as they come, and he's the ultimate troll in Hollywood. And he holds on to grudges for years and makes sure that they keep the drama going. So if he's on your trail, best believe things are about to get messy. But when you decide to look past his trolling and messy reputation, 50 Cent does have a softer side when it comes to championing black justice. Despite all the drama he stirs, he's one of the first to speak up when black artists are wrong, and he always shows up for them. In fact, he's about to take things up a notch with this upcoming Diddy documentary and has promised to donate the proceeds to support victims in South Africa. But this isn't his first time standing up for folks either, because he has been trying to expose Oprah for a minute. However, when he tried to expose her, the only dirt he had about her was how she allegedly held back black artists in the industry for no real reason, and often went out of her way to blackball them. He accused her of being a bully, and all that's pretty bad. It's nothing compared to the claims that the feds are making about her allegedly passing young women around. But before we get to what the feds have to say, let's take a moment to talk about the allegations of Oprah being shady. Now, y'all remember when Monique got blackballed after her running with Oprah, right? 50 was one of the first few that had her back, which is a rare thing in the industry where most artists would rather stay quiet than to go against someone of Oprah's status. And when Taraji P. Henson revealed that she was underpaid for her role in The Color Purple, 50 didn't waste time offering her a spot in his projects, making sure she would get paid what she deserved. According to 50, Oprah has a long history of tearing down black artists for no real reason. He claimed she uses her platform to ruin artists' reputations just because she can. Take Toni Braxton's situation, for example. Back in 1998, when Toni was struggling financially after a bad investment and fraud advisors, Oprah invited her on her show, The Oprah Winfrey Show. They agreed before the show that Toni would clear her name and share her side of the story. But instead, Oprah decided to make it work, throwing shade at Toni's financial decisions and making her look really bad. It was a whole betrayal, and Toni ended up worse off than before. Oprah really crossed the line with all this drama too. And it didn't just stop at inviting Toni on her show. It got so much worse because Oprah actually mocked Toni for going broke. I mean, Toni, who grew up with money, was already dealing with the embarrassment of bankruptcy, and Oprah chose to make fun of her for not being able to afford her designer clothes clothes anymore. She even suggested that Toni might have to sell her fancy belongings just to get by, and saying something like that to someone who just went through bankruptcy and on national TV is a whole new level of shady. And Toni tried to keep it together and keep it cutesy and demure, smiling through it, but you knew she was so uncomfortable she was on stage and she had to grit her teeth and bear it. But as soon as she got off stage, Toni was done holding back. She called Oprah out for being disrespectful, making it clear just how upset and uncomfortable she was with the whole interview. And honestly, can you even blame her? You don't expect that kind of behavior from someone of Oprah's reputation. She was
so freaking mean to me. I was in shock.
Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%.
100%. I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much reprimanded me. And immediately, she made me feel this big. This big. That moment completely changed my career. It made people look.
After working on the film Precious, Monique brought up this incident from her battle with Oprah. She wrote, "If you think that Oprah only demeans black men, it's because the black women have been made virtually invisible. See for yourself with our sister Toni B, in case you forgot or never knew. Now let's not forget how close Oprah came to completely derailing Monique's career." In an interview, Monique stated that it is illegal to meet negative people with negative people because you will only create a combustible negative force of energy. You cannot meet negative energy where it is. You must rise above it and transcend it. This refusal to go on a press tour without being paid infuriated Oprah Winfrey, to the point where Oprah went out of her way to have Monique blacklisted. "I would never go to the length of trying to meet someone who is unkind, doesn't care who they are, and doesn't think she would realize it." When he was on Oprah's show for the press run of his movie Crash, she did the same ridiculous thing, going out of her way to edit an interview with him to make him look bad. She then abruptly changed gears and started questioning him about his music and his use of the N-word. Luda wasn't going to let her get away with that either, though he called her out on the radio and put Oprah on blast for her unexpected line of questioning.
That she made about, I was there for the Crash. Yeah. And basically she said something about not agreeing with my music, but she thought I did great in the movie. And of course I was up there with the whole cast of Crash. And so I didn't necessarily feel like that needed to be said. You know, you didn't agree with my music. And even if you don't agree with certain songs I made, say you don't agree with certain songs, don't say you just don't agree with all of my views. Right.
That wasn't all, folks. During Elle Chris's interview, which aired on the show, she edited and removed parts of his answers to her questions in order to make him appear bad. Then, I had my rebuttal. When I watched the final show, her charm were in there, but yours weren't and mine weren't. So it appeared as though I just took it quietly and didn't. Yes ma'am, did yes oh yes. All of this is a little shady, but it pale in comparison to the federal accusations that Oprah was Diddy's madam and allegedly helped him get girls for his freak-offs. This shouldn't be surprising though, because Oprah was besties with Harvey Weinstein, and British actress Kaden Noble once called out both Oprah and Naomi Campbell for allegedly helping Harvey Weinstein use her. She claimed that Oprah allegedly trafficked her for Weinstein allegedly helping him essay her. And he was with people in which I admired dearly. He was with Naomi Campbell. He had Oprah Winfrey there with him, who entered the room and was swinging off his arm and just seemed like a very dear friend. But the wilder part all of this is that while she was allegedly pimping out girls to Harvey Weinstein and Diddy, she was trying to cover up her tracks by pretending to stand against essay in the industry, like when she randomly decided to do a documentary into Michael Jackson after he passed in 1993. Michael Jackson granted Oprah a rare and highly publicized interview at his Neverland Ranch. This was a significant moment given Michael Jackson's intensely private nature. The interview not only boosted Oprah's fame, but also solidified her connection with the Jackson family and especially Michael Jackson, and Oprah later claimed that she remained friends until his passing, going on and on about how they had a close friendship, However, following Michael Jackson's death, Oprah suddenly did a 180, and she turned on him. She became heavily obsessed with the Leaving Neverland documentary, which cast Michael Jackson in a very negative light, or even interviewed his accusers Wade Robson and James Safechuck, two men who had accused Michael Jackson of allegedly saying them when they were young. However, both men had recanted their statements and denied that he had ever did anything to them, so it was very well that Oprah would go out of her way to try to ruin his legacy, even though she swore to the heavens and back that they were besties when he was alive. But Oprah's decision to give the accusers another platform sparked widespread criticism, and on one hand she claimed that she was just trying to raise awareness about the sack culture that was widespread within the entertainment industry, which is definitely an important issue. However, the math wasn't math for a lot of people, because apart from her friendship with MG, the accusers recanted, and there were a lot of inconsistencies with the accusers' stories. This situation even got weirder when you consider her association with people like Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein. For years, there have been whispers. It's almost as if Oprah was willing to point fingers at wrongdoing elsewhere, but chooses to turn a blind eye when it comes close to her. Allegations suggest that she was aware of their actions well before they were publicly exposed, but she seemed comfortable staying silent and ignoring the situation. This raises questions about Oprah's role as a so-called advocate for justice. How can she present herself as someone who holds others accountable when she seems to go quiet when it affects her friends? 50C also called out Oprah's hypocrisy, saying, "Don't understand why Oprah is going after black men, not Harvey Weinstein, not Epstein, just Michael Jackson, Russell Simmons, that ISS she sad Gil hit R. Kelly with the Blow documentary. Every time I hear Michael Jackson, I don't know whether to dance or think about a little boy. This documentary is publicly convicting their targets. It makes them guilty until proven innocent. But if you think her connection to Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein was bad, y'all, we haven't even gone down the whole list yet. Oprah once had a close relationship with a man named John of God, a Brazilian.
One of the most famous spiritual healers in the world rarely talks to anyone on camera. John of God agreed to sit down with me under a mango tree on the grounds of the casa. A group of his patients gathered to watch. John of God speaks only Portuguese, so Heather Cumming helped translate. Ready, guys? You describe yourself as a spiritual medium. What does that mean, a medium?
Médium, eu sou espiritualista.
As a medium, he's a spiritualist. He believes a great deal in God, and he practices this mission already 55 years.
Born on a farm to a family who rarely had enough to eat, and she...
It's quite strange how many strange and shady men Oprah has been linked to, isn't it? It doesn't seem like a coincidence, and it seems like she always finds herself in the company of these shady men, which kind of makes us wonder how much we really know when John of God got exposed. And she continued to feature him for a few years until he was exposed for some truly horrific crimes. He was exposed for keeping teenagers chained up as slaves and then selling their babies for over $40,000 each and shipping them from Brazil to Europe. When the girls couldn't get pregnant, he allegedly unived them. It turns out that several people in the industry have been suspecting Oprah of being directly involved in shady activities with shady men. Oprah did not say anything or take any action to distance herself from him. All she did was stop talking about him. There was no criticism or talk about how disgusting he was. Actress Rose McGowan called out Oprah on social media, tweeting, "I'm glad more people are seeing the ugly truth of Oprah. I wish she were real, but she isn't from being paled with Weinstein to abandoning and destroying Russell Simmons. She is about supporting a sick power structure for personal gain, and she is as fake as they come." Well, Oprah was accused of helping Russell Simmons and Harvey Weinstein cover up their essay crimes. In an Instagram post, singer Steele hinted that Oprah was lying when she claimed not to know about Harvey Weinstein's transgressions. He wrote, "Oh, I forgot. That's right. You heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually seriously acting young star-eyed actresses who in turn had no idea what they were getting into. My bad. #Sanctimonia is Hollywood." The interesting about this is that Seal faced battery charges only 5 days after calling Oprah out. The charges were dropped after a few days. But the interesting thing here is that an inside source revealed that Seal's accuser reported the singer to police in Los Angeles after she noticed that he had accused Oprah Winfrey of knowing about Harvey Weinstein's offenses in a damning Instagram post. Yeah, it was very shady, and it kind of convinced people that Oprah had alleged set still up to shut him up about what she was really up to behind the scenes, and things got even more heated in 2020 when it was reported that Oprah's Florida house was raided by the authorities for charges related to. However, she denied the claims, writing, "Just got a phone call that my name is trending and being trolled for some awful fake thing. It's not true, haven't been raided or arrested." Well, just because she hasn't been raided yet doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, because y'all know how we watch the Diddy evids unfold. Well, word in the streets is that Oprah was allegedly pulling strings as Diddy's madam, supposedly helping him recruit young girls for his questionable activities. Remember that school for girls Oprah established in Africa? It quickly made headlines for all the wrong reasons as well. One of the male teachers was charged with serious offenses related to inappropriate behavior with female students, which is incredibly disturbing. According to Jun Deal, Diddy's bodyguard, as you may know, most bad guys have an ally, and Jun Deal asserts that Oprah was among Diddy's team of enablers. Oprah is reportedly heavily involved in the matter and has some notable connections to these men, raising the possibility that she may be supporting their dubious behavior.
Haven't any of Diddy friends spoke up for him?
My man, listen here. All those ones who made it to the Diddy party, to the after party, and to the hotel lobby, they not gonna ruin their brand. They not gonna say nothing. I was like, damn, he still got power like that? Somebody still like him like that? Because you know he was running with Oprah and them. He was running with that whole crew. Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein, he was running with that whole crew. They want to know how we're going to do it, how the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. I don't believe the industry has canceled him yet. All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced what he has done. I haven't heard one of them.
I haven't heard any of Diddy's friends speak up for him, so listen up. Everyone who made it to the Diddy party, the after party, the hotel lobby, and they didn't ruin their brand by saying nothing. I was like, yo damn, he still got power like that, because he was running with Oprah and the entire Weinstein team. They wanted to know how we were going to handle it, how the public would react to him, and if not, how they would like to see him go. I don't think the industry has fired him yet because of all the people who attended Diddy's parties. I haven't heard a single one of them come out and criticize what he has done. In the indictment docs, the government also disclosed that Diddy had a few influential individuals in his corner who assisted him in committing these crimes. According to the indictment document, Combs and other associates of Combs Enterprise used their position of authority and prestige at the company to threaten, coerce, and entice women into Combs' social circle, frequently under the guise of a love relationship. Then, in prolonged conversations with male commercial workers, the Combs employed force, threats of force, and coercion to induce what they regard to as, among other things. It further stated that the defendant engaged in a persistent and pervasive pattern of violence against women and other individuals. At times, Combs and others under his direction arranged for women and commercial workers to fly to Cole's location. Combs ensured the women's participation by, among other things, obtaining and distributing NARS to them, controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support, and threatening to cut them off and using intimidation. It is also purported that Oprah was one of those who helped Diddy organize these freakoffs, and the FEPs allegedly have proof. We all assumed that Jay-Z would be the first to fall out with Diddy, but it appears that Oprah's admirers may have taken first place. Admirers have been posting a lot of comments, some of which even called for an investigation into Oprah Winfrey. Oprah with Harvey Weinstein, with Bill Cosby, Oprah with P. Diddy, with John of God. How ironic that so many of her favorite persons are either under investigation or are PDF files. I've been skeptical about Oprah for years, so I'm glad that many people are calling her out. I don't say this lightly, but I truly believe that there is something evil about her. And she had this stupid habit. I've never been a fan of Oprah. When I was younger, I tried the spirit by the spirit and knew she wasn't right. What do you guys think about this? Do you really believe that Oprah did all of this madam stuff for Diddy? Let me know in the comments below, and then watch this next video. Music.